Hello, 6th grade. Today we're going to chat about collecting evidence and citing your work. This is to be used in our literature unit for Number the Stars, but the strategies that we talk about today can be used anytime you need to collect evidence or take notes for a paper or a reading assignment. Today you're going to need colored pens and Post-it or sticky notes. It helps if they're colored, but they don't have to be. Hello, 6th grade. Today we're going to chat about collecting evidence and citing your work. This is going to be used in our literature unit for Number the Stars, but really the strategies that we talk about today can be used anytime you have to read, take notes, and then refer back to your reading in any kind of paper, writing, or research project. So today you're going to need colored pens or Post-it notes, and I use colored Post-it notes if I have them, but plain Post-it notes are just fine. Let's dive in. Our first step is to read any question that you might have first. In Number the Stars, we're going to have guiding questions before each reading selection, but anytime you have to take notes, be sure you know what you're taking notes for. Read any questions first. This is 1, so you know what you're looking for, and 2, to ensure any evidence that you collect relates to the question. So our first question in Number the Stars is going to be, what was life like for our characters during German occupation? That's what we're going to be focusing our notes on today. As you read, note evidence that relates to that question. You're going to write any of that evidence on a Post-it note. Now, I have only one color of Post-it notes, so I'm going to determine my evidence with a blue pen. Now, you can see on my Post-it that I've noted the page number, page 2, and my first note. Anne-Marie, Kirsty, and Ellen run into 2 soldiers on the street corner. You can see that I didn't quote the entire page or the entire example, just enough so that I know what I'm looking for. And then at the bottom, I've written my own notes. Before occupation, there were no soldiers. So this is a difference between life during occupation and afterwards. So I continue reading, and I come up with another example of how life was different during occupation. You can see this is my second example, so we've written in number 2 on the left-hand side. I've noted the page 6, and briefly described my example. There was no coffee for the moms to drink, and they drank hot water flavored with herbs instead. And at the bottom, I'm writing my own notes that they used to drink coffee, but now it's a big change that they no longer enjoy that luxury. Now, what do I do with my sticky notes? Well, I stick my evidence directly onto the page in which I found the note. This keeps my evidence safe and also keeps it organized. After I've finished a few chapters, about 2 to 3 chapters, I like to write mini summaries just to keep myself on track of the plot. At the end of 2 to 3 chapters, I write a mini summary of only the major plot points, and I stick my summary directly into the text at the end of the chapter. This helps to remind me of what the plot is about and keep me on track. Once I've finished my chapter selection, I'm going to be answering a question inside my journal. I want to use my evidence in my writing by citing specific examples from the story. You can see here is my paragraph or the beginning of my paragraph, and you can see in pink highlighting, I've cited specific examples from the story. For example, Anna-Marie and Ellen are greeted with harsh words and a no-running command from a Nazi soldier coming home from school one day. And then in parentheses, I've put page 2. That's where I can find this specific example in the story. Now we're ready to dive into Number the Stars, collecting evidence as we go, and citing the evidence in our guiding question answers. Enjoy!